Looks like we have a couple of newer folks today. Is it Jan or Jan?
Jan,
Jan, welcome. How are you?
thank you.
First time today, I
I'm
believe.
good, thanks.
For me, I don't think you've been here before. And if you'd like to turn on your camera, you don't have to. If you're in your pajamas and you want to just take class anonymously, that's fine. But if you want to turn it on, it should be the bottom left corner of your computer. And yeah, and that there's a little video button that you click, and it will turn on. So I'm going to mute everybody, so there's very little disturbance, and then I spotlight myself. So I should be the big screen that you see, and then let's do it. So what you need is your chair. Sorry, I'm a little, as you can see, a little behind this morning. So you want to have a chair that you can sit on and sit at the front edge of the chair. And so you can face forward. I'm just facing sideways here for a moment. So you can see that I've scooted to the front edge and that most of my leg is off the chair. And we start with seated meditation. It's just an important way to bring the brain, nervous system, and body into accord. And you practice a few important Tai Chi principles. So, first thing is we've got what's called Zhongjun, which means central upright. So if I'm slouching and my head is forward and my shoulders are up like this, I don't have a very good Zhongjun, right? So what we need to do is tip the pelvis forward, relax the shoulders down, chin a little bit down, crown of head up, and now we've got this central pillar intact. So take a moment to place all your body parts in this alignment so you feel this idea of a central pillar that goes down through the chair, down through your legs, down through the floor. And then everybody would agree that you want to have an upright body. So that's not something necessarily new, but these next two ideas are very unique to Tai Chi. Rather than holding your body up, the emphasis is on letting go completely of every ounce of tension. So you relax completely. If, as you relax, you start to slouch, well, then you've broken that first rule. So you have to go back and replace your body in Zhongjun. But when we relax, the body dilates, it plumps, it becomes a little more spacious when we relax. Tension constricts and tightens and shortens everything. Relaxation lengthens and opens and dilates everything. So as you sit upright and relax your body, then you allow for Chunwon, which means that which is heavy sinks down underneath, soft, sunken, heavy. And then Qingling, which means light and nimble and agile. So 10 breaths, working on all of this. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose or your mouth. And just do that 10 long breaths. And just with your attention, just kind of scan through your body for those ideas of how is your upright pillar? Are you relaxed? Are you letting that which can sink under and out of our body sink out? That grounds us, gives us stability down. And can you feel that nimbleness, that lightness that comes along with relaxation and space? Feel how your inhale expands you and opens you up, and how your exhale softens and melts you back in. So each correct breath is helping move us along this progression that we want to go along of finding upright structure and everything I just described. So quality, long, thorough breathing. Already, you've hopefully started to feel some change in a positive direction. On your own, you could spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes just doing this work of breathing, sitting upright, releasing and relaxing. So you could pause the video if you're rewatching this on replay. Now our first set of movements. Slide your hands back, your elbows back, your scapula back. Lift your chest, arch your back, lift your chin, looking up. So that's spinal extension. Just hold that shape for a little bit. And feel how the front of the body opens, the back of the body is contracting a little bit. You're changing the shape. Now, you wouldn't want to get stuck like this, but you do want to make this shape. Now, let's go to the opposite shape. Slide your hands forward, past your knees, the chest hollow and round. Drop your head down, make this shape, and just hold this shape for a little bit. Same idea. We wouldn't want to get stuck in this shape, but we want to be able to make this shape. The body is built to change into this position. Now let's go back to that first position. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back, arching the back, lifting the chest, lifting the chin, holding that shape for a little bit, and then change again. Hands forward, hollow chest, drop the head, round the back. Now let's do that flowing. Inhale as you slide hands, elbows, shoulder blades back, arch. This is on the inhale. Exhale as you slide the hands forward, past the knees, hollow the chest, drop the head. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale into that arched back position. Settle back to neutral and pause. So just upright seat. Now, slide your left hand forward past your knee, right hand and elbow back. As you do that, turn your shoulders, turn your head to the right, twist to the right. Just hold that shape for a moment or two. Just getting that twist. And then let's come back to the middle and switch sides. Middle, and then right hand forward, left hand and elbow back, shoulders turning. Turn the head and hold that twist just a little bit. And then let's do the flowing variation. So inhale back to middle, exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, middle, exhale, turn. Inhale, middle. Let's do two more each way. Exhale, turn. Inhale, middle. Exhale, turn. One more each way. Back to the middle. Hang your arms. Last movement in this little set. Shift the weight to your right buttock. Side bend. Now, we're sort of stuck here a little bit, so if we lift this left wrist up, it takes the pressure out of this area and allows us a little more leaning. We can even lean to the point where this foot empties and comes off the ground. Come back to center, left arm dangles, lean, and again, instead of getting stuck here, we float this wrist up and tip. And then back to middle, shift the weight to the right buttock, lean. So this is called lateral flexion and extension. So we're freeing our body in all of the different planes, the different planes of movement. And we're also not allowing residue buildup to go unchecked, unaddressed in these different mechanics. Now, hang out in the middle. Really important movement here. We do it every time because the most complicated joint in the human body is the scapula, arm, chest. This whole area tends to be very stuck, and it makes us top heavy and clumsy when we move and less functional. So scapula lift and lower. So that's the first movement. Do that one more time. Shrug up and down. The scapula also squeeze together and then relax them. And then they slide apart from each other. And down. One more time. Together, down. Now, when you bring them forward like that, then lift them up. Keep them lifted up as you squeeze them back. Keep them squeezed back as they slide down, and then let them rest in neutral. Do it again. Forward and up. Back and down. Neutral. Forward and up. Back and down. Neutral. Two more times. Right? And you can just see there's a space in here that is being opened, that we're cleaning out what's stuck. Now reverse. Back and up, forward and down. Neutral. Back, up, forward, down, neutral. In the beginning, these are clumsy movements because the brain is unaccustomed to asking the body to do this. But then over time, you start to find, oh, it's really natural. And then the movement starts to have what's called Schwen, or like the river, has flow to it. Flow. And relax. Now, scoot a little bit back on your chair, and we'll do a little bit of warm-up for the legs before we stand up and do our Tai Chi. So lift the right knee, pull the knee back towards the chest, and also pull the foot in. So it's like a spring that's loading, and then push, fully unload, reload, and then set the foot down. Other leg, load it, push, load, down. Load, push, load, down, and load, push, down. One more each leg. So again, the health of all the mechanisms are determined from a Tai Chi perspective. Can that mechanism go all the way through its full range of shape changing and function? Now, right leg straighten, and we point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Flex. Now tilt that foot a little in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Now circles, in, point, out, flex, in, point, out, flex. Big round foot circles. And reverse, circle. Are you missing something? Cool. And switch, point, flex, point, flex. tilt the foot a little in, out. Called inversion, eversion. Inversion, eversion. And circles all the way. Reverse circles. And down. And then the last thing we do here before we stand up, actually a couple more things, but really importantly is our legs step wider apart than hip distance, and we do our rotations of our legs. So lift your toes, turning where the heels stay on the ground, turn so the toes and knees point in, and then lift the toes again and turn so the toes and knees point out. So we got the pelvis and torso, and then we got this junction right here where the leg bones and the pelvis meet. And so in Tai Chi practice, this is very important functional mechanism space that has to be openable and closable. It can't be stuck here and hope to function really smoothly and well. All right, so now we're opening and closing. Now, same junction here, except keep the balls of the feet on the ground. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Heels in, knees out. Heels out, knees in. Couple more. And then back to neutral. Feet hip distance from that same junction. The legs don't move. The pelvis does. So we fold and then sit vertical. And then from that same junction, tip back and sit vertical and fold, vertical. So a basic rule of getting better at something is you start from the simple and you go to the more complicated. Kind of obvious, right? And so seeing how, one more of these folds, seeing how each of these mechanisms can be practiced in just by themselves, whether it's the foot or the leg or scapula, and then as we go to more complicated Tai Chi movements, it starts to bring all of it together. So we're going, okay, simple, brain, getting connected to all the different movable parts, and then we up the ante, we add challenge. So now let's put all that together for a functional movement of standing up and sitting down. Key thing with standing up, notice how my center of gravity is here right now, right? My feet are kind of helping me stay up, but mostly it's the chair, so I'm here. Now, when I go to stand up, I can't just go straight up because my weight is back behind my feet. So that's why we have to fold and go forward first. Now your center of gravity is above your feet, and so then standing up is no problem. And in reverse, when we go to sit down, key piece here is notice that I did not bend my knees first. That's a big mistake that people make. They bend like this first, and they get all jammed up here. When it's time to sit down, from the quad, from the hips, fold, and then the butt is back here, center is here, weight is underneath you until you get down near the chair. Then when you find the chair, then okay, commit back to the chair, your feet are empty. So let's do that a few times where you again get good at finding that forward that allows you to go up. You stay down under your feet so that you're folding, folding, folding. You haven't committed to your chair until the last second. Once again. And so really important when sitting down is allow a proper amount of, look at where my head is compared to my feet and where my butt is compared to my feet and ankles. You create that relationship which opens up this way of sinking. Right, so it's just, the cool thing about Tai Chi is that it's the precise, proper use of the body. So now, don't sit in your chair, but use that precise movement to fold and sink like you're trying to touch your shins, touch your ankles, touch your feet, possibly touch the floor. And then rise back up. So we're not sitting in the chair. Don't sit in the chair, but train yourself to be able to fold and rise. So this is really wonderful for all these mechanisms through your body. They fold, squeeze them in like a spring, and then extend them. Or I often use the visual of an accordion, how an accordion closes and opens, and you need to have no stuck mechanism to make that accordion work. That's this body. So can you sink and fold and then rise all the way up? And let's add this shape change. So here, notice I'm pushing my hips a bit forward. Arms are dangling loose. And then middle, and then hips, and then sink, and then rise, and then hips. So can you find freedom of movement here? And remember Chunwan. Chunwan is, I'm so relaxed that everything that is of the earth, everything that could sink is sunk out of the body. So I can have all this movement and not feel like I'm losing my balance because I'm grounded, because I'm not holding tension in my body and almost going to fall over. So it's this loose quality that gives us function. Now, stay standing. You just stay as you are. I'm just moving this out of the way because I have limited space here. So now, if you're standing in the middle and you've got your middle pivot, belly button, lower back, see what I did here. Notice that I didn't fold or bend anything, but something happened. I tipped into my toes. And then middle. And then heel. So you might be able to see it a little bit back into the heels. And then middle. Toes. Middle. Heel. Middle. Now, toes, float your hands forward but not up. Rock back to your heels, sweep the hands behind. Toe. So this is our first formal movement in Tai Chi and Qigong practice. Rock. Rock. So the idea here is you start to see, oh, I am a liquid body. Hydraulics. What they call sung. Soft, supple, pliable. Okay, now, next movement. Rock back, stay a little bit back in the heels, open, lift. So this shape here where you're in your heels just a little bit and you're being pulled open out to the sides, but notice how if I turn sideways, you see my arms are not cranked like that. That's not great for the body. So my arms are still somewhat in front, but they're going out. So get that pulled open position. Now tip into your toes a little bit and sweep around in front. Turn your palms up. Rock to your heels. Soft elbows. Fold at the elbows and bring the hands like you're bringing something in the mouth, past the mouth, and then settle to the middle of your feet. Hands settle to the middle. And then elbows forward, sink like we did our squat. And as you finish your squat, release your arms completely. Push through the earth and stand neutral. Rock to your heels a little bit, open and lift. Rock to your toes a little bit, sweep around, close. Rock to your heels, soft bent elbows, hands coming in, and settle to the middle of your feet, hands settle to the belly. And then elbows come a little forward as your hips go back and you sink and release. Push through the earth and stand. We'll do this 3 more times. It's called Sink Chi Wash Organs. has many benefits. It gets the overall body mechanisms tuned. Rock back, open, lift. Rock forward, sweep around, close. Rock back. So this is one gesture. Back and down. And then hollow, sink. Push through the earth, rise to standing. 2 more. Rock, lift. Rock forward, sweep around, close. Rock back, bringing in the upper, settle to the middle of the feet, hands settle to the middle, and then hollow the front of the body and sink. Push through the earth and rise. Each time it's like we've peeled a layer of something extra off. 1 more. Back, open, lift. Eventually this all is just one endless river flow. Back, in, and middle, and then hollow, sink. Stand. Now, wings. Roll, turn your palms up, fold, and then settle. Middle embrace, this moment. So the belly, the navel, is of importance because it's not only the functional physical middle, but it's also the idea that this is our central battery. This is our reservoir. So there's this emphasis on the gut, belly, keeping our mind there rather than, let's say, here or up here. We're staying connected down here. Now cross the hands, bring them down. Yang Tai Chi, a family of Tai Chi, will do the basic movements for that. So first movement, rising hands. So soft, loose wrists, rising. Like you're painting a wall with the back of the hands. And then here, this little flow change. So notice how now my fingers are above. So there's this change. Now you come down like you're painting with the tips of your fingers. And then this change of shape so that you can paint with the back of the hand. And then this change of shape, paint with the fingertips. So you'll see with each movement, there's this change, lift, this sort of connect the dots, square approach where we're getting high levels of consciousness to everything that's happening, and then that will all bleed together to make Schwen or flow. So change and lift. Eventually this change and down just kind of blends together. So we slow down and get a hold of everything that we can get a hold of. Then we work on smoothly polishing it together. Now, hands scoop in front, same idea but at a different angle. Wings, flow change, then sweep down, flow change, open, wrists are loose. There's a sort of roundness that I'm exaggerating here through the frame. And then there's this little flow change, right? See that little change, then that. And then again, it's this change and open, change and sweep down. Crane opens its wings. 1 more. Now the sink chi to belly. Wing, roll, turning palms upish. Elbow joint fold, the hands fall right into this space perfectly, down. Wing, roll, fold. So that's a movement that shows up all throughout Tai Chi. wing, roll, fold. Now the complementary movement to that, backs of hands close to each other, up. Now from here, palms face forward-ish. As you go out over the top, then the palms face out, and then down, and then it's wings. Backs of hands face each other. We come up through this space. Now we're ready to get the up and out. So it's palms face somewhat forward, and then gradually they turn out, gradually they turn down, wings. Let's do that one more time. Eventually that just has schwinn, it just has flow. But if you try to go too flowy too soon, it's clumsy, it's not precise. So that's where the slowness of Tai Chi. Now go ahead and wing out. Now we go turn right palm up. As right hand comes over, left hand wings under. So now we're top and bottom of a ball, right? You can see this circle here that we're framing. And then like two magnets attracting to each other, one going up, one going down, and then down and up to the top and bottom. Now this hand goes out like we just practiced. This one wings like a crane wing at the same time. So you see how that challenge for the brain to control that. All right, so it's get them both to the wings. That's how you know you did it right, if they arrive here at the same time. Now turn left palm up, and as that left hand's coming over, right hand under top and bottom of a big ball, and then magnets attract, magnets repel, left hand going out over top, right hand down underneath, they arrive at the wing. And then right hand over top, left hand underneath, come together. They go apart. They go around. Under, middle, apart. Now, down. Hands scoop and come up, 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 up. So here, straighten the legs, lift up, sort of exaggerate lifting, and then turn your hands over, and on the way down, you're going to lead through the heels of the hands. So the hands have this little shape, and also it's not just arms, it's whole body sink. So have a little bit of a sinking quality through the body down. So that's called on, or sinking. And then scooping and rising, that's pump, rising energy. And then turn the hands over and sinking. Turn the hands under, rising. And sink. One more. Now, float those hands up around chest height, elbows back behind you, pull them back. Turn the hands over so they're facing forward. Now, G, or forward, like a push, but don't stop here. Keep going, fully extend, no tension anywhere, but get the full extension of the limb and the mechanism. Wrap around the back side, so turn your hands around, and then draw all the way back, 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 back. Turn the hands around and push. Fully issuing, expressing to the tips of the fingers, wrap around and draw. Turn the hands, push. Turn the hands, draw. One more. Now, turn just your left hand ready to push, and push just the left hand. So notice how this arrangement turned you from your hip area, your groin area, and your belly. So there's a little middle pivot rotation naturally that occurs. Don't overdo it though. Don't force it. Now turn left palm to face your body, right palm to face forward. Right, this right hand's ready to push. So have that right hand just in front of the chest. Now it's one draw, one push, together, coordinated through your middle pivot, which is belly, low back, and the two groin. So this turn. Now turn right palm to face your body, left palm face away. We've got one draw, one push. Then simultaneously change the palm positioning. So one turning to face, one turning ready to push, and then push and draw. And then simultaneous palm orientation change. Then push and draw. Orientation change, push and draw. And you get this to have some schwinn, some flow. And allow the body to be so relaxed that they use the word induced. Induced. You induce movement rather than grab a hold of and force the movement. So there's this movement of our middle that's induced by this repel the monkey gesture. The softer, looser, and more thorough we are. Now, both hands back, both hands down. And release. Now, take your left hand behind your back, take it out of the play for a moment, and we'll only think about the right arm. So now change your weight to your right leg, and then change your weight to your left leg. Just notice how that changing of the leg moves the torso through space, right? So if I just go down through this leg, my body moved laterally. I don't have to lean it extra. Same thing on this side. I just go down through this leg, my body moved that way. It's also moving the arm and hand through space effortlessly. I'm not having to move it to have it move through space. So just by changing leg, we've already gotten the game going. Now stay in your right leg, turn from that middle pivot to your right, and float your right arm out but not up. So now we've stored up, we've gotten ready to issue a movement called sweep the leg. So now change your weight to your left leg. Notice how that's bringing this hand through space. Then turn from your middle pivot. That's also moving this hand through space. Then actually move your hand through space, across. Turn the hand around. Now we're stored up to issue what's called brush knee. So first thing to happen isn't the arm. It's shift from left leg to right leg. That starts it, right? And that's already moved this through space. Then turn the body from the middle. And notice how that's moving this through space. And then you actually release it to move the rest of the way. Turn the hand around. Shift leg to leg. That gets it going. Turn from your middle pivot. Then sweep the hand through, sweeping the leg. Turn the hand around. Now it's shift, turn, brush knee. Turn the hand. Shift, turn, sweep the leg. Eventually, this shift turn is a hyphenated concept, meaning it's shift turn. And that causes this movement. Shift turn. That's the bear sweeps the leg and the bear brushes knee. Now the bear swirls the stream. Your right hand, cast it forward but not up, and then shift turn. Now the hand is far away from your body, goes around in the water, and then bring the hand in close to the body, and we do the brush knee again. So that same one we did a moment ago. Cast the hand far away, shift and turn. That circles around in the water, and then we brush knee, and it finishes that circle. So we're swirling the stream. Shift, turn. Shift, turn. Now the bear swats the jumping fish. Float the arm up chest height. Shift, turn. swat the jumping fish with the big old bear paw, and then drop the hand down into the water again, shift, turn, brush, knee. So every time it's that same brush, knee, but we're doing something different here. Shift, turn, swat, hand drops into the water, shift, turn, brush. Float the arm up. Shift, turn, swat the fish. Shift, turn, brush the knee. The higher jumping fish. So same shift, turn, but now we cast this arm up and then down. Shift, turn, brush, float up. Shift, turn, swat, float down. One more. Brush, and swat. Now, shift, turn, brush, knee, and recall wing, roll, fold. Now you're loaded up for shift, turn, push. Shift, turn, push. Drop it into the water. Shift, turn, brush, knee. Wing, roll, fold. Shift, turn, push. Now notice this full extension, but yet I'm staying where I am here. There is more weight in this leg, but I'm not up and leaning and falling over myself, right? So there's this keeping of the middle. That's a big piece in Tai Chi practice, is that I'm changing everything. Everything's changing from full to empty, empty to full, from turned left to turned right, from high to low, low to high. So there's all this change occurring. But yet, it's actually cultivating a sense of internal equilibrium. Last one before we switch arms, turn the hand around. We go sweep the lake. The lake turns to vapor and floats up, becomes a cloud. Now shift, turn, cloud across the sky. Clouds rain down. Fill the lake, shift, turn, lake. Vapor, shift, turn, cloud. Rain. Shift, turn, lake. Vapor. Shift, turn, cloud. Rain. One more. Keeping this idea that inside of you is a still point. It doesn't mean it's not moving. It just means it has the quality of stillness. Now, bring your left hand out. Wash your paws back across. Put your right hand behind your back. And let's start from the bottom here. So turn this hand around. We've got shift, turn. This is brush, knee. Notice the position of my palm. Very important. So the palm is facing that away. And then rotates. And then this is the sweep the leg. Right? It keeps going, 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 going. At the very end, it turns over. And then it's shift and turn, brush, knee. Keeps going, 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 turns over, shift, turn, sweep the leg. Got our middle pivot. Everything's organized around it. Everything's communicating through it. So that's where the stillness comes from. It's very interesting in Tai Chi. It's not from a lack of movement. It's from unimpeded flow. So when I have no impediment, when I'm totally loose and free, then there's a stillness underneath there that we get to rest on. Now, the bear swirls the stream. Cast his hand away, but keep it low. Shift and turn. And then bring it in close. Brush the knee. Cast it away. So even though the hand goes away, the arm extends, you don't leave the ground. You don't pull yourself off your root. That often is what happens. We're stuck to ourselves, and so we fall forward. Instead of cast that hand way out, but stay stable, grounded, Now the bear swats the fish. So this loose, relaxed, liquid arm floats up and shift, turn, swat. Dips into the water, shift, turn, brush, knee. Loose, released, buoyant, shift, turn, swat. Shift, turn, brush, knee. Flow. That's the middle jumping fish around chest height. Now the high jumping fish, anything above there. Could be face level, could be above the head, this reach. So we want to feel like our body can rise and sink, turn and turn, change weight, and yet the whole time we don't feel like we're upsetting our quality of groundedness. We're not stuck to the ground, but we're connected to the ground the whole time. Now, brush, knee, and push. So that's wing, roll, fold. A little more sophisticated use of the mechanism. Shift, turn, extend, extend, extend. Let the arm fall down in the water. Now we're ready to go. Shift, turn, brush, knee. Loose, spacious limbs. Roll, fold, and push. Full extend. Shift, turn, brush, wing, roll, fold. Shift, turn, push, full extend without losing your ground. We're ungluing ourselves from ourselves. We're separating our parts, our mechanisms, so they have lubricant, so they have function. Now reverse. We go lake. Lake turns to vapor. Shift, turn, cloud. Cloud rains down, fills up the lake. Shift, turn, lake. Lake becomes vapor. Vapor becomes cloud. Cloud across sky. Rain. Shift, turn. Shift, turn. Cultivating our cockpit of the body. Operational center. Both hands out. Now, left hand ready for brush knee, right hand ready for sweep leg. Shift, turn, we got one brush knee, one sweep leg. They go, 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 and then they both turn around, and they're ready to go the other way. Shift, turn, brush knee, sweep that leg, let them keep going. So we don't want to be stuck to our body. We want to soften and soften and soften. Keep our middle. This leg is empty, but I'm not leaning. So this is a fertile opportunity, a developmentally rich opportunity where I'm here, I've turned a little bit, I'm floating, I'm reaching, and then shift and turn. Brush, knee, sweep, and let them keep going, 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 going. This leg is empty, middle leg, turn, shift, turn. Keep them going, 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 going. Now, swirl the stream. So your left hand is going to brush knee. Your right hand casts forward. So now one hand is far away from the body, the other is close. And then they switch jobs. Cast the left hand. Notice again, I didn't lift my hand. It's down and forward. Be able to discern the nuance there. And also that you can feel that you're not just standing frozen, swinging your arms around, that you're shifting leg and turning from a middle pivot. Shift and turn. Now the bear swats the jumping fish. So we got right arm up around chest height, left hand dipped into the water. Now it's shift and turn, brush knee down low, swat that fish around chest height. Then they chain. Shift and turn, brush knee, swat fish, hands chain. Shift, turn. So we got the low hand and that middle Swat around chest level, then they change. And then it's shift and turn, brush, and swat. Now that high jumping fish. Shift and turn. Now as one goes down, the other starts coming up. Shift and turn. And you track what's happening at every single part of your body. Both feet, both legs, the torso, all the way up through the head, both arms, all the way to the tips of the fingers, the shape of the hand. Now, pause here. Wing, roll, fold. Shift and turn, brush knee, and push. Now, as the right hand goes down, left arm, wing, roll, and fold. Make sure your right hand is still to the left side of your body, and then shift, turn, brush, push. As the left hand goes down, right arm, wing, roll, fold, and we're all stored up, ready to go. Shift, turn, brush, push, right, together. Right hand down, left arm, wing, roll, fold, shift, turn, brush, push. Even though we're getting full extension, I'm not leaving my middle. So there's this little bend in the knees you can see. There's this turn. There's this staying where I am while extending. And that gives it somewhere to orbit back to. Now left hand low, right hand folded over. And you're ready to shift and turn. So this is a stored shape that has expressibility. So they call that issuing. So now we're issuing out and away. Gets around the far side, comes back into the stored position, and then shift and turn, brush, push. Now, pause here, turn your left palm to face you, back of hand faces forward, right hand is down in the water, shift, turn, we've got cloud, lake. Clouds rain down, lakes vapor up, and then we're ready to go shift, turn from your middle pivot, cloud up top, lake down low, vapor and rain, shift, turn, cloud, lake, vapor and rain. And everything together, as my teacher says, everyone's on the bus. Right? So that's what we're trying to do, is have the body be experienced as one, but not because it's stuck together. The opposite, because it's so loose, there's this space, and then all your little chi, lively awareness, sort of agility, chingling, light, nimble aliveness, that's what we're one. That's the means by which we feel oneness. Not because we're held together, because we're so loose that at first it feels like, hey, I've given up control of the body. But then over time you find, oh, actually there's all of this control in this light, nimble, agile relationship between the brain, nervous system, all the mechanisms. And wash your paw. Settle. Pausing here. Put all your weight to your left leg. Turn your right foot out 5 degrees. Change your weight into your right leg 100%. Key thing here is that when you put your weight into that leg, you don't do that. Don't stick your butt back. So keep the tail down, and you can see how this leg has all my weight, and there's a bend in it rather than me locking it. So this relationship, really important that we find. Again, I'm not pushing into my knee and hurting any of the joints. I'm allowing the spring-like quality of my leg to do the job. That's what softness allows. So all that weight into your right leg, take your left foot and just float the foot out and touch the floor in front of you without any body weight. So it's empty. All right, so we got that. Now bring this foot back, heels touching, toes turned out 5 degrees. Change the body weight to the left leg. Now let it spring-like quality do the work. Right foot empty, touch the floor in front. Middle pivot, central pillar, chun-one down through you to the floor, ching-ling, light, nimble. All right, let your arms hang. Bring this foot back, heels touching, toes turned out, change the weight, middle pivot. As the weight goes 100% here, this becomes free. Bring it back. Change. The weight goes down to the earth. That frees this foot. Step. Bring it back. Change. Let's add the hands for golden rooster stands on one leg. So you take your left foot out. The foot that's out there, bend that elbow, point the fingers up. So it has this shape. And then this hand, rather than it just kind of limply hanging there, bring some awareness in it and be like so. So instead of that, it's full of life, all the way to the tips of the fingers. So the golden rooster stands on one leg. Now, nothing changes in the hands. Bring your left foot back, heels touching. Then change the weight. Everything changes. Left hand goes down, right elbow bends, and right foot floats out. Bring the right foot back. Nothing changes. Then change the weight, everything changes. Golden rooster on the other side. Bring left foot back, nothing changes. Shift the weight, everything changes. Let's add a little challenge. Bring the right foot back, the right palm points forward and the left palm turns in. So this little orientation change. Then as you shift, the hands are already in position to move through. So you notice your left palm's facing in, right palm facing down. As you bring your left foot back, change that orientation in the hands. Change the orientation. But notice I didn't lift and lower them yet. All I did was turn the hands. So that's challenge for the brain. Bring the foot back, orient the hands differently here, left, forward, right, in, and then shift. And that's where, boom. Simultaneity, simultaneous different movements, right? Asymmetrical. So the foot's coming back, right palm turns forward, left palm turns in. That all happens together. And then change the weight, right hand down, left hand up, left foot empty, floats forward. That happened together. Bring the left foot back, left palm forward, right palm in. And so that together. And then change the weight, hands and foot. Change. Let's do that again. Right foot back, right palm forward, left palm in. Can you blend it together so it starts to be schwen, starts to have flow? So that as the foot's coming back, the palms forward, the right palm in, and then just kind of bleeds in, blends. One more. And then step back parallel. Wash. Wash. So important here is when we finish, we're not grabbing the body and going back to this gripped sensation. We're finishing by loose, settling. And then 3 of those first movements we did, rock to heels, open and lift. Rock to toes, sweep around, closing in front. And notice how my elbows are not really bent here. So Jan, full extend those arms. Yeah. So get to the end of this shape, and then you get the maximum quality of folding, bringing in to the mouth. So fingers like you're coming in the mouth. And then settle to the middle of your feet, hands to the belly, elbows flare forward while the hips go back a bit, and then that opens everything for that release down. And then push through the earth, stand. Rock a little back, open, and lift. Rock forward, sweep around, full extension, palms face up. Rock back, soften, bend elbows, hands bring as if in the mouth to the throat channel, down the throat channel to the belly. Hollow, elbows forward, sink, and release. Stand up. Last one. Eventually, this is like, if you've ever been to the water park and it's the lazy river or the endless river, it's just this endless river flow. And then we close, wing, roll, fold, settle to the navel, belly. And then we seal like putting a cork in a wine barrel. One center of one palm right over top of the belly button, center of other palm right over the back center. Just take 5 nice breaths here, doing what's called Wu Ji, which means no activity. So that means the mind's not chattering, the emotions aren't stirring, the body's not doing anything or nothing forced. So it's basically like a nap. Just take a momentary chi nap. And then we close with this hand position. It's just like a reminder. So grab one thumb, fold this hand over. Should look a little bit like a yin-yang symbol. So we bring the hands together like that and bow. And that's just a reminder, again, yin-yang, up, down, all the change. We are that middle pivot, So that's the reminder as you close. Thank you so much, everybody. If there are any questions, feel free to unmute and let her rip.
Thank you, Otto. I got to run.
All right, good seeing you.